Coach, we've got a week left of fall camp before it's Baylor time. How are these Bobcats looking 3 weeks into it?
Yeah, we're looking good. Still a lot of work to be done. Did a long drive series today. No matter who won the rep, offense, defense, we moved the ball up 5-10 yards and just continue to get those game-like situations. I think we ended with two 15-play drives, which is good. Get the conditioning levels up, get the personnel, the substitutions right. So I thought today was a really good day. We're not done with fall camp. I think that was the mindset today. Is like, hey, there's still a lot of work to be done. We're a relatively new team, so we're a lot of work to be done, and those guys embraced that and came out with, had a really good attitude and had a good day.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Obviously, from day one to right now, it looks a lot different
Yeah.
than how they were with all the installs and everything. But what's something that you really want to focus on this last week before the season gets going?
I think it's time now to start executing at a high level. We had a lot of third downs today. I thought the defense came out in that first rack and really got after us, and then offense kind of bounced back in that second rack. And I think that's a sign of a good team. But at the same time, speaking as an offensive coach, we have to execute better on third down. So it's getting there, but we got to continue to get better.
Coach, how close are you to having to sit down with the players and having those tough talks and telling them like, hey, we're going with you or we're going with somebody else?
Yeah, it'll happen, but at the same time, no matter who's starting, those other guys have to be ready to go. And so, obviously we'll exchange some scouts. That'll probably be the hardest conversations, like, hey, you're going to work on the scout team. And sometimes that's great. I won the starting job when I was at Tulsa, when I transferred in back when you had to sit out on the scout team. I went over there and lit the defense up, and they had to tell me sometimes, hey, don't, take it easy on them, basically. So you can win jobs on scout teams. You can really develop. You can get better on scout teams. So once we decide to have those conversations and decide who's going over there, that'll kind of be their mindset, and you have to stay ready and give game-like reps.
You're talking to Bo today. What have you seen from him transferring in just as a veteran on this team in the wide receiver room?
Yeah, I think for him, just continuing to get in shape. He did great in the summer conditioning program, had a minor setback. And so he's, this past week has been really good for him, get out there, getting some real reps. And he's looked good. You can see why he's had the production he's had, just getting those reps with the quarterbacks and getting that chemistry going. That'll be something we'll really focus on before Baylor.
What is one thing he does well, Coach, on the field?
I think his size, he creates a mismatch on the outside. Obviously with our splits and the way, we run our offense, you're going to get a lot of one-on-one. So his ability to be able to separate vertically, whether he's throwing a guy by on a stop route or running past somebody. He's 6'4", 215 pounds, but he's one of those guys that gains ground and gains speed as he goes. So he's really exactly what we thought he was going to be.
Has the consistency been there as far as energy throughout the practices? I know you said today was good, but you're already in the back half of fall camp. Has it been there every day?
Yeah, that's one thing that's really has been great. There hasn't been one day where I felt like we kind of took the day off, or these guys are competing every day, and it's hard to take a day off when if you don't bring your A game, the next guy's gonna lap you. So the energy's been great. That's a credit to the coaches. They do a really good job creating that energy and demanding excellence from the guys.
I know it's keeping it vague for us now, but 2 weeks out, at what point does it start to do some game install stuff versus still just technique things?
Yeah, next Tuesday will be towards Baylor, so we'll wrap it up on Sunday. Monday will be the first day of school, then we'll get into Baylor on Tuesday.
Talking with this defense a little bit later, we're talking with Coach Greg and the corners. It's been kind of nice when you look at that position. You have Caleb Ford-Dement, Josh Eaton, A.J. Edwards. It's a pretty full group. At least it's what it seems like from the outside. Would you say that about those corners, or what's that room looking like?
Yeah. Chris Mills, I don't know if you mentioned him. He's another guy that can really play. All those guys are the same thing. They're competing. One day one guy's starting, the next day the other guy's starting. So it's kind of a good competition back and forth. And Coach Greg does a really good job with those guys, and same thing, demanding excellence, and those guys are very coachable, and we got some length in there, we got some speed in there. I think Caleb Ford-Dement probably as from a leadership standpoint and being the most consistent. And I think he's probably a step ahead maybe of those other guys right now. So he's had a really good fall camp and somebody that we're going to lean on heavily. I think he's an NFL guy. I think he can play at the next level. He's got all the intangibles. He's very intelligent. He's maybe the fastest guy on our team. So I look for a really big year for Caleb.
You know, Coach Greg, he's one of a handful of coaches you brought over
Yeah.
from Carnware. What was it about him that you wanted him on your staff here as well?
Yeah, I tell guys when the recruits come in, when I talk to the coaches in a staff meeting, there's coaches that get it done and coaches that can't get it done, and Coach Greg gets it done. He's the best recruiter on our staff. I probably talked to him on staff probably the most, just because we're constantly talking about recruiting. If there's a big-time offensive guy, I'm going to get Coach Greg on him. If there's a big-time defensive guy, I'm going to get Coach. If there's a punter, I'm going to get Coach Greg on him. He's an excellent recruiter, an excellent football coach, and basically his sales pitch last year when I got the job, I interviewed everyone at UIW. He said, these are the guys I signed and put them on there. This guy's all conference. This guy's going to the NFL, and so I kept him.